So the problem I'm about to say is a nice problem to have, and that is that my backlog of kits is slowly growing. So in an admittedly vain attempt to cut it, I started building some. Of course you would. And the first is the Atlas Gundam at the back, but the second, which I enjoyed more, is the subject of today's review, which is the Alus Earthree from Build Divers Re-Rise. And for the reason why I enjoy it more than this, well, these bits were a bit weird and a bit funky to, maneuver around. I prefer them, off when playing around with the Atlas. But yeah, we should probably focus on this guy. Just the idea of the Alus Earthree is fascinating to me. From the anime that had Isekai Gundam comes an alien that copies the MC's Gunpla and gimmick and modifies it for its own self-gain. That is an idea that can only exist in the Build franchise, and I really like that about it. It's fun. And I do like what the designers did to change the original Earthree and core into something more evil. Replacing the standard Gundam head, as seen right over here with the heavy arms, with a mono-eyed Eva helmet one, the Eva helmet from the Halo franchise, with the red parts being a hard contrast to the darker purple and grey. While most of the parts are shared with the original core Gundam, the changes made remind me of the Decepticons. Vaguely humanoid, lanky limbs because the arms are very long, spikier than the original, especially the legs. It's very Bathers. The accessories you get are also unique. The gun, for the most part, is just the one from the core Gundam. But in terms of melee weapons, the hand becomes the blade. Sort of. For you see here, this is the hand, and it has been sculpted in a way that the thumb is perfectly in the middle, meaning it's ambidextrous. It's nice to have options. Here's the Alus cord holding said weapons. Looks pretty neat. Of course, the main accessory is the Earthree armor, Alus one specifically, with the stand. And I really like how all the stuff can just be stored on it. Obviously the armor, but you also have the alternate holding fist, one of them is being used right now, the widespread hands, the beam saber / effect part, another head, which is for other planet system armors, meaning that this head right over here is only used for core mode and core mode only. And also parts for the gun, and right over here as well. Now before I move on to armoring this guy up, I want to mention that the feet and legs in core mode have a much better pivot range due to nothing limiting it, specifically moving the leg back. As there is no butt flap, the leg can go all the way back. And the feet, well, there's nothing really sort of stopping it, so you can go all the way like this, so you can have a broken feet, the other way for another broken feet, and this, which is to help with armoring him up. And yeah, that's sort of it. Everything else will be covered once the planet system is added. And speaking of that, it's unfortunate that you have to swap heads, leaving this awesome one to collect dust. It's understandable why, as incorporating the clear plastic piece into this head will potentially be ugly. Anyways, the added blue gives us a nice bright color to liven up the color palette. And in this configuration, the Alus Earthree really looks like the prime version of Soundwave. Now, mode lines. They don't look out of place. This one right over here being like the most major one, but what might be a bit more of a concern are nub marks, as they do need a bit of cleanup as they are quite obvious in some areas, like on the arms right over here, well, mostly the arms. The stickers weren't annoying, it's just these shiny purple bits. They're all on flat surfaces, although this head one was a bit weird. but it's doable. Almost forgot to add the gun parts, but it's not exactly, difficult. Yeah, pretty good. You can also extend out like so for like a better firing. I'm pretty sure this is a better firing mode. Then you just maneuver the arms to become this, and yeah. I honestly prefer it folded up than this. I don't know why, it just looks sleeker. But that is just a personal opinion. In terms of articulation, the head is ball jointed for 360 rotation and tilting. In fact, this guy has a really good amount of tilting. There's also this movement. The arms rotate, but the backpack does get in the way. It won't really affect you that much, but it's good to know. Arms go out this much, and it has a double jointed elbow band, which also has a swivel. Wrists are ball jointed for rotations and some tilting. Some butterfly movement, pretty good amount in comparison to others. You got yourself a waist swivel because that's standard at this point. You can do a full 360 with it, unlike some others. A slight, and I do mean slight, ab crunch. You can barely notice it. Your legs go all the way out and back this much. Front skirts are quite loose on mine because I separated them. Probably because of how I did it, but thought I'd let you know. A pretty good split. The knees are double jointed, but really far apart due to the gimmick. But still, it's alright. Got yourself a thigh swivel, and finally, the feet that pivot both directions and goes up and down. And also swivels because it's on a ball joint. I mean, yeah, this is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's what you want out of a main antagonist Gunpla, something that can go toe to toe with the main protagonist, and this certainly feels like it can because it is just the main protagonist's mobile suit. Ain't this plotline fun? For context, I actually have never watched Build Divers Re-Rise, just the first episode. It's no surprise that because this is based off the regular Earthree Gundam, both in universe and Gunpla wise, that it's a really good high grade kit. And the plus is that I got this for 1800 yen. 1800! That is a steal for what you're getting. The problems I have are minor in comparison to the upsides of this. The minor thing being that whenever I try and remove the front skirt armors, I don't feel safe pulling them out. I feel like they might break something. And I have already broken this, so I don't want to repeat of that. But everything else is really, really good. So get it if you have the opportunity and like the design. It isn't for everyone. I mean, just look at all the Bayverse designs. And yeah, that should be all for this review. I hope you found this useful, and to see you next time. Bye.